Welcome back, shot benders. Today we're going to talk about how to stop slicing the driver. Let's get started. Hi, I'm Roland from Shot Bender Golf. If you're tired of slicing the driver, popping it up, of hitting those big, embarrassing slices out to the right, if you're ending up in the next fairway, if you're slicing it into water, slicing it into trees, or slicing it out of bounds, which is costing you a lot of distance and making the hole much harder than it needs to be, if you want to shoot lower scores by keeping that ball in play, and you want to see more fairways, we're going to discuss just that, and how to eliminate the slice, not just for one day, but for good. So the first thing we really need to clean up is your grip. Way too often in my lessons, I see people with a neutral or even a weak grip, and you're really just setting yourself up not only to slice it, but not to hit it very far either. The grip is important for so many reasons, but for the purpose of this video, we'll talk about specifically for direction. So right off the bat, you can see if I have a weak or neutral grip, I can't really rotate that face too much. But if I take a stronger grip, now look how much I can close this club face. It's actually pointing the other way now. So you can really see how this makes it easy to square the club face. A lot of you struggle with closing the club face because we're in a weak position to do so. So if you have a weak grip and then you add speed to the equation, there's no way that this grip is going to hold up. And when you add speed to the equation, what you're going to tend to see are people start to bend the wrists and then the elbows just because they're not in a strong enough position to really control the club head moving as fast as you can swing it. Where if I have a stronger grip, I have much more control of the club and my arms and body in the swing. When Tiger Woods switched to a neutral grip, he said he had to get into the gym and get physically stronger to use that grip. I'll make the argument that you shouldn't have to go to the gym to hit the ball straight. And for those high-level shot bender golfers, if you want to go to the gym to make your swing better, I'm totally cool with that. What I'm saying is you don't have to go to the gym just to square the face when you can easily just have a better grip. So when you have that weaker grip, what tends to happen is the arms start to bend, then you're going to hit those pop-up shots to the right, or you can even start to thin it and hit it really low. Contact is just going to be very inconsistent. The easiest way to take a good grip is to think about holding a suitcase or a briefcase. It's going to be more on the base of the fingers there. And then from there, what I'm going to have you do is just turn your hand over, and a nice checkpoint will be the first knuckle right here, or the logo of the glove will be right in line with the middle of the shaft there. A lot of grips have an alignment aid, either it's a notch here, some writing here, or something a little bit higher on the grip. Let's go ahead and have that knuckle or logo in line with the middle of the shaft. From there, you just go ahead and put your right hand on there. Most people use an overlap grip where the pinky goes in between the pointer and middle finger. Some people like an interlock grip, which the pinky goes in between those two fingers. I personally use both, and both work well. Right now, I currently use an overlap grip, which is what most of the PGA Tour does. So we're going to overlap there. We're going to grip it in the fingers as well, and then have the right thumb on the right side of the grip there. We'll call it the right third of the grip here. Okay. Now we're in a good position to square that face pretty easily. Okay. So a good grip, gripping in the fingers, logo in line with the middle of the shaft. Then we put the right hand on, and both V's, meaning the crease between your thumb and your pointer finger, should point to the right shoulder. Same thing with the left hand as well. Okay. So the next part in the swing that we need to address is the backswing. So what I tend to find in my lessons are a lot of people in the backswing start to open the face, meaning as we go back there, they let that toe go to the sky. And you can see how the club face now is more pointed upwards, right? Where you're going to see really straight and consistent ball strikers. When they get to this position, you're going to see the club face pointing more down towards the ball. And this goes back to that grip that we talked about. So if you have that weak grip where you don't see the logo on your glove, if you were to try to do this, that club would start to get pretty heavy, and then your wrists and elbows would start to bend. Where if you have that stronger grip, and you go to that same position, now it's really easy to keep that arm straight and to still control the club. Weaker grip, people will start to feel this doesn't feel very good on the wrist, so what they'll do, start opening it up just to have some type of alignment in the arm there, where we can have a good grip and be in total control of this club. So when people open up that club face, now you're in trouble. So now you're gonna have to start to make adjustments in the swing just to make up for that club face being open, where we could have that club face in control and do what we want in the golf swing rather than adjusting to having that face open. So our body spatial skills are really, really good. So it can feel when that face is open and what's gonna happen in the downswing if you're to do that. So if that face is open, what do most people start to do? They start to come over the top to try to square that face. Problem is that encourages even more of a slice there. Also, having that face square really encourages compression. So what is compression? Compression is just when the ball hits the face, starts to compress, and then it jumps off the face. So this is big for power, and how you hear pros talk about where they hit on the face, because they compress the ball so well, they can feel it on the face longer than a slap at the ball. And last but not least, just having a square face throughout the swing makes this golf swing so much more simple. It's going to take a lot of the hand-eye coordination out of the swing. So I hear people say, I'm not very hand-eye coordinated. Well, if that face is open, you better have good hand-eye coordination because you're going to have to make adjustments. Where if you're keeping the face square, you don't need as much timing in the golf swing. There's always going to be some element of timing. We're trying to eliminate as much of it as we can. So assuming we have a good grip and the face is square more throughout the swing, the last piece is the direction, okay? So if we're doing those first two parts well, this last part becomes easier, or you have more room for error. So if you have a square face, you can definitely swing into out and have a good shot, but you can also swing a little more neutral and still produce a good shot. And then even if you do come over the top with a square face, it's at least not going to slice on you. This is going to start a little bit too far left and keep drawing from there. Okay? So either way, the slice should be eliminated if that face is square. So I'm just going to bunt a few drives out there just to show you what a square face will do. So if I have a square face and swing to the right, it'll start right and then curve back to the target. Okay? And then if I have a square face with more of a neutral path, you'll see it goes relatively straight. Doesn't curve a lot to the right or to the left. Pretty much a straight shot. So that's what I was referring to, more room for error. Is I can swing to the right, I can have more of a neutral path and still be okay. And then lastly, if I have a square face and come over the top like most people do, that's when you'll see shots that start left and go further left. But what you'll also notice is the launch is much lower as well. So if you have a square face and you come over the top, it'll launch really low and go too far to the left. If you have a square face with the neutral path, it'll go more straight. And then if you have a square face and you swing to the right, that's where you're going to see the push draw. So push draw is a shot that starts right of the target and then curves back to the target. That's the furthest way to hit a golf ball, by the way. But either way, we've gotten ready for slice if you have a good grip and you're keeping that face square. From there, you can play around with your path. If you want to hit it as far as you can, swing out to the right. If you want to hit it just relatively straight, swing with more of a neutral path. And then last but not least is those low hooks, which I wouldn't recommend for many shots there. So a good way to practice this is to hit a bunch of shots there, and the goal is to hit none of them to the right. How you do that? Making sure you have a strong grip, making sure the face is square, and then swinging either to the right or more neutral. So if this video helped you, tap the like button, and if you'd like to continue to get better at golf, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.